Alright, greetings again, my people. Welcome to the weekend show again. Now, this week show, I get very serious because the time is very serious. Now, people, I want to talk to you about what's going on in America. Yeah? You don't know, me spent 20 odd years out of my life in America. 2 kids in America, 2 daughters, 4 grandkids. Yeah? So, all of my family, them up there, most of them. Out of my immediate family, I could have made the only one there in Jamaica. Really. Anyway, what I want to talk about today is the changing of America. America is slowly changing everybody's eyes. Yeah? And from the president come and say, make America great again, it's a steady decline. I don't see no up or down, me say. Yeah, people? Right now, the way it look, it seems like some plan is being made behind on the back. More than I know about. So, I try to make you aware of what I want because seems like the right and the police them in a business. Yeah? So, from the right wing and the police in a business, you know what that mean? I'm a plan for the people. So, when you hear about the shooting up Kenosha, where they shoot the black man in the back 7 times, you know, which they must say they have knife. I know minutes in the knife, but yet them get shot 7 times. Now the man cripple probably will never walk again. Now, to me, that was brutal. I mean, they don't just shoot people 7 times. So, all when them have a knife and they can't shoot them 7 times because what? Then attack you with a knife, you have to order them to put it down, and if they move to you, then you understand that, but the man back turn and all of them things there, and then still shoot him 7 times. See? On some alleged thing. Anyway, what I try to get at is people that after that shooting, you know, you have the riot and everything. Now, everybody say, boy, people are riot and a burn down building and this and that. People, let me tell you something. People's lives are more important than building. Building and car can be built back and bought back. Your life cannot be bought back. Once you're gone, you're gone. I just saw the thing of people. You understand? So, I don't want to say in these times America care more about the building and the car them than the people. Because that means yes, go on.
Go for it. Peacefully protest. But don't burn down buildings. Don't break windows. And don't mess up other people's stuff.
Anyway, after they shoot the man in back 7 times and the people them a riot, you have this one young boy and now will come out with a rifle will come to kill. Now it seems as if this boy and the police them in some dealings because it has been said that him and them did a talk before, have conversation, must say I give him water, you know, and then the police them must say boy them a go drive them, the protesters towards them and them take care of them and them thing there. That sound of weird people, I never hear of them thing here from a barn. You understand? So, you know, the thing proceed and shots fired and the young man right winger militia youth kill people and after him kill people him run away and walk past the police and scotch free because the people them that chase him down and thing then lick off fire. Me understand the people's frustration because people not expect to see nobody come kill them like that and just walk away and walk around with guns and them attack him, yeah. Now you find say after that happened, the president back him because the language of the president is that he was attacked and but what about when him attack people? So you find say this thing has spiral out of control, people. Now I have this video here, people, when we want to pre with these newscasters on TYT, these people get the real news. I like listen to them. And then I'm going to explain certain things to the people. And when I explain certain things, I want to know if it's really listener understand what them I say. Because there's more to come. Yeah? So, I'm gonna stop that now. I'm gonna pre the video. Alright? So, pre the video.
Unfortunately, violence by right-wing extremists continued over the weekend, again in Oregon, this time in Salem to be specific. Now, these pro-Trump extremists got together for one of these Trump parades / rallies, and unfortunately, they clashed with a small group of Black Lives Matter demonstrators. And just to give you a sense of what the scene looked like and just how violent they were, let's take a look at this video. You can see them going after BLM protesters. They're running after them. They're hitting them with weapons. You see one man fall to the ground as he's being punched repeatedly by I believe a member of Proud Boys to be specific, Proud Boys. And so, yeah, this is a common scene now where you'll see the right wing serve as the aggressors. After punching him several times, after he's on the ground, they pepper spray him. And they can do it with no worry of consequences because what did the cops do? Was there an arrest? Were there any consequences for what happened? Well, let me give you some details and I'll give you the update on what we know so far. So the far right group also fired paint gun pellets at Black Lives Matter counter protesters who dispersed shortly after police arrived. One man was seen hit in the back of the head with a baseball bat and knocked to the ground. That was the video you just saw after being rushed by a group of Proud Boys in a video posted on Twitter by Oregon Public Broadcasting reporter Sergio Olmos. Now, Sergio Olmos also gave people an update on what happened with the police, and the police did show up and did seem to detain members of the Proud Boys, but eventually it turned out that no one was actually arrested, no one was taken into custody. So here are the cops, they're kind of breaking up the violence. And you can see in the video that they're standing there, they're talking to police. It looks like they're about to be detained and put in custody. But afterwards, police did have a chat with the arrested suspects and ultimately decided to let them go.
Yeah.
So there's another element to this story, but Jenka, jump in.
Yeah. No, they look like they're best friends, and later you see a video of one of those guys released and hugging it out with his fellow Proud Boys. In other words, green light, guys. We could, yeah, there they are. Yep. See, released, no problem at all. Basically, cops gave us a green light. Go be fascist vigilantes and assault left-wing protesters. No consequences at all. And at one point in that video, in the second video, it sounds like one of the Proud Boys goes, "Hey, don't worry, we're the good guys," to the cops. Now, are they actually good guys? No, you saw the video. They assaulted people, one with a bat, and the other one, pummeling a guy. The third guy being pushed down. That's when the cops saw it. The cops saw it with their own eyes. Now, imagine a bunch of black guys bum rush a white guy in front of the cops. They'd be lucky to walk out alive. You think the cops are gonna sweet talk them later and just release them on their own, volition? No way, no one believes that. If you're a MAGA guy, you're laughing because we'll lock up the black people and the cops are actually on our side. You know that, everybody knows that, right? So it's sick, it's gross. No, this is exactly what fascism looks like. So they do a protest, or we do a protest, and they just come in and now start. Kyle Rittenhouse killed people. These guys are assaulting people brazenly. No consequences for these guys at all. It's grotesque. And if people aren't arrested and brought in and charged on this, every cop involved should be fired, and their manager and their manager's manager should definitely be fired.
Well, they won't, and they won't get fired for refusing to arrest people. In fact, I mean, just to juxtapose what we just saw and the lack of consequences for the violence that we just experienced in that video, just consider how many protesters, not just in Portland, but throughout the country, were arrested simply for demonstrating past curfew, not engaging in any type of violence, not engaging in any type of property destruction, nothing. They're just out past curfew, demonstrating, and there were mass arrests in Washington, D.C. So Donald Trump could go do his ridiculous photo op where he was holding a Bible upside down. As you guys know, there was a curfew, but the curfew hadn't been implemented yet, and there were already mass arrests 20 minutes before curfew. People were rounded up. You saw the federal police go after the protesters aggressively. And so we can juxtapose it all day. I mean, we've seen how the police have treated peaceful protesters in New York. The New York PD ran over protesters with one of their SUV vehicles. I mean, we saw all of that. But when it comes to right-wing extremists who show up heavily armed and say that they're there to carry out vigilantism, totally fine, no consequences. In fact, they're so transparent about their viciousness, about their violence, they even just openly call for murder of their political opponents. And so here is a member of the same group, the Proud Boys, arguing that, yeah, Democrats should be murdered openly with a microphone. Take a look.
In your own state, and then we have said, oh, this LGBT agenda, pedophilia is next, and they told us we were crazy. They told us we were homophobic. But the God's honest truth is, this pedophilia agenda is being normalized. It is being pushed forward. And I'm a God-fearing man, but I think these Democratic leaders who allow this to happen need to be shot dead in the street.
So this is again in Salem, Oregon, and he's calling for the murder of Democratic leadership, and he's weaponizing pedophilia and child sex trafficking as a justification for calling for murder. So this is taken over the Republican electorate. Unfortunately, the whole QAnon conspiracy theory has snowballed into something far greater. It means different things to different people, but at the heart of QAnon is this notion that people in positions of power, specifically Democrats, are in cahoots on child sex trafficking, and Trump is trying to defeat them. He's trying to do something about it. So that's the underlying issue, and it's become illustrative of what many Republican voters believe and are fueled by. It's devastating to see this happen, because at this point you're not even dealing with people who have any interest in evidence or in a rational debate or discussion, right? They believe crazy things, and there's really no way to convince them otherwise. And so, yeah, it's dangerous, and no one's doing anything about it. Like the cops are like, oh yeah, have at it, have fun. Go ahead and abuse people out in the streets, and it's totally fine.
Yeah, if a Muslim American called for the killing of Republican politicians, there's not a single person in the country who doesn't think they wouldn't be arrested immediately, rounded up, and there'd be right now conversations on Fox News about how he shouldn't have any rights. He should be stripped of all of his constitutional rights. That's literally what Lindsey Graham and Republicans pushed for even before Trump was elected. So, but right wingers can threaten to kill anyone and they get away with it. Why? Because, and a lot of you, some on the left and certainly in minority groups, will say that we're late to the party and we were naive, and maybe so. But it turns out giant chunks of our police are fascists. And so they totally allow the fascism to happen. They don't enforce the rule of law at all. They do it selectively. If you're on the left or if you're black, they're gonna arrest you even before there's any violations. If you're on the right and you assault people right in front of their eyes, they don't care. They're gonna let you go. If you murder people and you've got an automatic weapon on you, they're gonna let you stroll up to their car and treat you like a buddy. That like they did with Kyle Rittenhouse. If you call for the murder of Democratic politicians, they're not gonna bother taking any action. And this is in Oregon, a blue state. So, I mean, if we don't change the culture of policing, at some point, some fascist who's smarter than Trump is gonna come in and use them to crush us all. So guys, think about it. This is the most important part. If Trump wins re-election, I'm gonna guarantee you that this is what happens. It's already happening. The Democratic Party is, historically weak, the weakest party that anybody has ever seen. And so they'll get steamrolled in a second, and there literally actually isn't much for them to do. So What'll happen is they'll send more vigilantes to assault us and murder us, and they'll be above the law. And eventually the left will fight back, right? And because the cops, they see, oh, the cops are letting them kill us. The cops are letting them beat us up. And the cops are helping them and participating in it. Okay, then I'm gonna bring a weapon. Because the country got over 300 million guns. You think the left wing doesn't have guns? Of course they have guns. I don't want them to bring it. I think that's a terrible idea. But eventually they're gonna bring it. And eventually, if Trump wins the election, I'm not joking, it's not hyperbole, there will be mass shootouts in the streets. And then do you think that the law enforcement will then act appropriately? Hell no. They will only arrest the left wingers and put them in Guantanamo. They'll arrest all the political opponents. They'll arrest anyone who's ever known anyone associated with the people doing violence on the left, and they'll let the right wingers go, and boom, we're a fascist country. It's not hyperbole. It's happening right in front of your eyes right now. If Trump wins and they get another 4 years of this country is over.
All right, people. Now that you pre the video, me sure know say we don't understand what's taking place. Yeah? And it's right under our nose. And it might be coming to every city, every town. You understand? So, me want to be vigilant people and pay attention to what's going on in the neck of the woods. Because it seems as if it's open there for black and brown people and people of color. What I say? People who's not white then, because it's an agenda, yeah, to keep I guess America white, I don't know what it is, but America is a country that's supposed to be inclusive because America is a country where taking all type of immigrants. So everybody if partake in the betterment of America. I don't see one group want to dominate. I don't know if I because the past and then they still want to continue with that and then be the dominant force or through the white supremacy thing where they might deal with. But people, white supremacy are foolishness. Yeah? Hear that thing. And most of them people call themselves white supremacy. And some dummy them. Yeah? Ku Klux Klan, some dummy them. They don't have no sense. I mean, you have one have sense of going to the military and study, yeah, and yeah, I understand all of that already. But majority of them are dummy people, they don't have sense. So they not think from a perspective where are humans. They might think from a perspective of they are the only human. And that's silly, makes no damn sense. Because them are the last set of people come in existence on this earth anyway, so we were already a long time before them. So, I'm gonna see where this all dominating thing with them I deal with them say boy, white supremacy. Nah, foolishness people. Come on. So just like, subscribe to the channel, share the video, people. I have a second video I'm gonna put out soon. We're showing from this video where the man are telling about when I go see how it mushroom into something different, and this might be replicated all over the country, and then it's going to be civil war, people. So until next time, I put out the next video. Take care of yourself.